Welcome to this week's Timeless Pick a Card reading. Today we're diving into the Immortal Cycle Oracle to decode the repeating patterns in your soul's journey and how they're showing up in your physical reality. This is a multidimensional reading, so it's part soul, it's part body, and it's part life. We'll explore the karmic loops, emotional and energetic roots, and the tangible ways that it's manifesting in your life, whether through relationships, health, career, or your daily experiences. So please take a deep breath, tune in, and choose the path that calls your soul and your body. Group 1, we have the B. This is the embodied code, the awareness. This is your body holding the answers. You just need to tune in. Group 2, we have the dragon. We have the puzzle maker and the card of confusion, where things may appear more difficult than they need to be. In group 3, we have the angel. This is the taskmaster. It indicates challenges in your life at the moment. So this is the growing from your obstacles and hurdles that you're going through at the moment. Which topic resonates with you most today? And I'll be back with your reading. So let's get into your reading now, group 1. Okay, for the first card on the table, we have the loop. This is the karmic or energetic pattern that keeps repeating. How this pattern is showing up in your physical life, your habit, your relationships, or your body. Now we have the tide turner, the victory. This is an attempt will finally succeed, and it turns in your favor. So depending on how these other cards fall, which we'll get to in the reading here, this energy could be somebody that is always trying to succeed, always trying to win, trying to be good at everything they do, or they could be a person that's waiting for their turn. So it's like the waiting for their chance to succeed, waiting for their victory, waiting for the tide to turn in their favor. So I'm just going to move along and then I'm going to put the cards together. This is a brand new spread, so I am getting used to this spread, so I'm a little bit slower than I normally am with making the connections. Normally I'll read a 6-card spread and I'll just diagonally read them or read them in different placements together. So doing it this way is a little bit different, but it's going to take me a moment just to get my head around this spread. So in position 2, we have the origin. This is the root of the cycle, your past life, your ancestral or emotional. It's physical triggers or an environment that activates it. This is the magnetism card, the weather of radiance. Position 3 is the mirror. What this cycle reflects about your soul's growth and what it reflects about your current physical experiences. This is a card of opportunities being unlocked for you. You've actually got really very powerful cards on the table, group 1. And as reading these as just a normal 6-card spread, these would be on the top of the line, so indicating victory through your own magnetism and attracting to you the opportunities that is necessary to succeed. So these are quite positive cards here. Now, in the 4th position, we have the lesson. This is the soul's lesson trying to emerge, the physical challenge or the insight that mirrors the lesson. We have depletion. This is being worn to your essence. It's an emotional giving, burning, or fading. So you give to the point where you're completely depleted. So maybe you're sitting diagonal to the victory. So maybe you work so hard to achieve your goals, but you deplete your energy in doing so. Maybe you give so much that you deplete your emotional energy. Maybe you always feel like you're struggling to be on top or stay on top or get on top or change your tide around to turn in your favor, that it can be very depleting on your energy. energy here. Now, in the next position, we have the shift. This is the amplify card, indicating there's a surge bringer. This is energy coming your way. Now, it's more energy. You're rising, boosting, or leveling up here with your energy. So you've got very, very good cards. You've got one card that's a little bit, I'm going to say negative for the lack of another word, but it's the only one that's not positive on the table. And the position here is your soul's lesson, what's trying to emerge, the physical challenges that you sometimes face. Now, while you have all of these positive cards on the table, the negative aspect of your reading here is indicate, or your soul's loop, karmic loop, is that you tend to deplete. Now, you may be a very high achiever. You may be very good at attracting and manifesting what you need, but the part where you seem to be lacking or struggling, your lesson that your soul is going through here is the depletion, and how you deplete your energy. You don't fill your cup enough. You have all these beautiful victories, or this beautiful energy of wanting to achieve or manifest whatever goals are around you have for yourself, but you deplete your energy. This is your soul's lesson here, what the lesson that's trying to emerge for you to acknowledge that you need to be able to understand how to achieve without running your emotional body flat or your physical body into complete depletion. Here we have the new rhythm. This is the soul's frequency or archetype. So this is a new alignment or new manifestation. Now, this is sitting across from new opportunities as well. It's on the diagonal to new opportunities. It's the card of ashes to choice and consequences for past actions. Now, if I was to see an action or a consequence on the table here, I would see the consequence of high achieving or always trying to stay magnetic energy is a depletion of your emotional energy. So I would say that would be your consequences here, because we have the consequences on the table. I would say this card here would indicate your consequences, and we are looking for the multidimensional soul's karmic loop here. So here I'm feeling that this energy is about how well you look after your own energy. Yes, you may be good at achieving or getting what you want or manifesting, or you seem to be everything you touch turns to gold, but you, at what risk does that pose? It's a risk of always being switched on, always being having to achieve or having to do something, or no time for rest or emotional restoration or balance here is what I'm feeling around you, group one. Now we have a final card to pull, and then I'm going to tap into the energy of the cards here and see how they read together. Okay, so I'm pulling, that's funny that I pulled that. We've got the two cards in the middle. I'll pull this one down a little bit. Now, this is the final anchor card. So it's the card that anchors and integrates the energy into your being. We have the activation card, which of course, this is what the final card means. It's about activating the new energy. And the new energy here is the understanding the choices that you have, and how and where that leads you. Now, what I'm picking up first of all is choices, being that every choice you make is affects and comes back to your emotional depletion or your body. So here it's about looking after your health, your well-being, not on a way that there's something wrong with the health. It's more of a way of looking after your emotional body, or your body, your vessel. It's like you need downtime, you need to take time off, you need to take time away, or some kind of recharging is necessary for you. Now, even if it's that you're not overly busy, I don't think you're taking enough time with complete, like a holiday, for instance, away from everything, away from, dramas that's going on around you, everyday responsibilities. I'm feeling that you need to take some time out away from that, because I feel is the consequence of the choices that you make. It reflects back on your body, your physical body here. Now, getting back to the anchor or the integration card in the middle, dominance, we have the control card. So this is a very big part of you. Now, it could be that you are a control freak, you like things to go a certain way, you like to be involved in everything, you like things done, you prefer to do it yourself because it's the only way to get a job done properly. So that's that control energy, having to control every aspect or element of everything that goes on in your life. Now, it makes things run very smoothly. It makes things turn in your favor because you have so much control, you're organized, you get things done a certain way. Now that's great for achieving, it's great for getting things done and victory and having victory, but to what end does that come? Always having to feel like you've got to be in control. You cannot pass the duties on to anybody else to help you because it's not going to get done as good as what you would do it yourself. Now, this energy comes back to you depleting your energy. This here is the lesson that you're learning out of this control freak loop. So you're in a loop here where you want things running a certain way, you like to be organized, you like to have things done and have your hand in every aspect of it, you like to give orders, you like to just make sure things run well. And you feel like if you step back away from the situation or project or whatever it is, that things will just fall apart without you because you're the and in some cases they probably would. You're the driving force behind the structure, behind the strong foundations here. You're the one that keeps the clock ticking, and it's whether that's your job, your position, your relationships, your making connections between people. It all comes back to you to keep things flowing or running smoothly. It could be your household, it could be the people and the communication between certain family members. You're the one that has to make sure that everything lines up and works well, but it comes back to you being that you're not doing enough to restore your own body here. So coming back in now and taking a look at all of the cards on the table. So after all, we're looking here for what this is the mirror of the soul cycle, and it's the physical expression on a physical plane. So it offers insight into both the spiritual realm, your soul's journey, as well as the connection between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. So how it's played out in a physical realm. So for you, if I had to say there was a loop, a repeating pattern, for me, it would be around either being over a hard worker, you a strong achiever, always wanting to make sure that you're achieving your goals, or a bit of a control freak. You like things running a certain way, you like things done a certain way. So that's what I would say your loop would be. In every situation that you're involved in, you want it running a certain way, you want it to achieve whatever this project is, or any project, this repeating loop that goes on. Now it leads back to depletion, it leads back to depleting your energy. So here the balance, or the way to anchor this or activate this, is to let go of some of the reins sometime. Understand that it may not be as good as what you would have done it, but learn to throw your hands up and say, hey, it's getting done. So however somebody chooses to do it, and by that allowing somebody else to do it, you're letting that person learn or get better themselves. So here this energy, and here you break the cycle by trying to step back and say, okay, I can allow somebody else to take the reins here, or I can allow somebody else to help me do something, even if they won't do it as good as what I would. So this is your karmic lesson here, because ultimately it comes back to your emotional depletion. You really try to strive to have a high point here. Your emotional energy here is always in overdrive because you're always switched on, and things have to look a certain way or be a certain way. And this is where I feel the depletion comes in. So the card that you've pulled for yourself is the embodied code. It's the awareness card. So your body has the answers, you just need to tune in. So what answers are you searching for, group 1? If you've chosen a card that says you hold the answers, what answers are you looking for? Now, for one thing that I am getting out of that card that does resonate with the karmic loop that's come up is that you hold the answers, you need to tune in. So once again, you are in the driving seat, you are in control. So for you to subconsciously pick that is indicating that you know that the wheels run smoothly when you control the whole situation. So this card here being that you hold the answers, you need to tune in, and saying that it all comes back to you, and that maybe deep down how you feel in your life, in every situation, your job, your relationships, that it always comes down to you to keep the wheels turning in the situation, your job, your career, your whatever project you're working on. Now let's read cards back and forth together like I would normally do in a normal physical reading. So I'm just going to bring this one more into a physical type reading. Now we've done your karmic loop, where your answers lie in your karmic loops that keep repeating that you need to work on. Now let's take a look at this from a physical aspect and have a look at how these cards work together. Now first of all, I'm drawn straight up to the Weaver of Radiance, the magnetism card. This is a card for the strong manifester. Now, it's sitting diagonal or in opposition to amplify. This is a card indicating that there's rising energy coming in. Now, this amplifying magnetic energy is okay, it's like an overdrive of energy. You need to put that energy into something, into a project for you leveling up to the next level. Now you've also got the victory card on the table, and you also have an opportunity. So here doors are just going to swing wide open for you, new opportunities coming your way, but partly because you manifest them yourself. And one thing being that your energy manifests them. You have a very high vibrant energy, and that manifests all these opportunities for you. But I'm also getting that you put the boots on the ground to do the work. You're not scared of doing the work or being in control, being organized to get things done. Now, maybe you're noticed by somebody for your good qualities and given a level up promotion even in your position. Maybe for some of you, it is that you are magnifying your energy, and this causes opportunities to open. So it takes you to the next step just naturally because you're the one that's doing the work. You're putting it out to the universe that this is where I'm heading. I'm willing to do the work to get there. So then the doors just swing wide open for you with the from spirit for the opportunities to come in. But I do feel it's because you know how to radiate and make those opportunities come to you. I do see victory, attempt succeeding. I feel like the tide is finally turning in your favor, but I also feel that the tide really is always in your favor anyway. And I think that's because you're not a lazy person. You're a person that knows what needs to be done and just willing to get it done. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or it's a situation that just needs to be done, you will get in and do it yourself. So I feel that energy around you. Now, victory sitting down below depletion in opposition here. So victory and depletion, I feel that there's new opportunities that's coming your way could mean extra work. It means more things that you need to do, more duties, more involvement. There's more. It's like taking projects on. So it feels like you've got all these projects under your belt. You've got all these things running and all these things you're doing, and you're probably doing really well at maintaining everything. So where they say you've got all these spokes in your life that you're supposed to nurture or water, all the different avenues of your life, and you've probably been quite good at making sure you're contributing to all the areas except your emotional well-being or your emotional energy. You've been equally pushing energy into every area, all the spokes of your life. But I do feel that this new victory or opportunity coming your way could just push you over the edge. So just be cautious about that, about taking on more than you can handle. Now, and as I say that, I feel like you know that you can handle anything. You can, as long as you're organized, you know that you can do this. But what I'm feeling is that something has to give. So by taking on a new project, you have to release or let go of something else, because one of the spokes in your life is going to get neglected. Firstly, I think it's definitely the emotional depletion, your emotional energy. You could go into burnout here. That's where I think the first spoke that's most likely to break. But I feel if that's not enough and you just keep pushing yourself too much, another spoke will fracture. And that could be an important spoke. It could be your relationship spoke, or it could be your career spoke. I don't think it's your career. I think it's probably more related to relationships around you. Secondly, to your own body here. So you're firstly going to feel overworking or doing too much in your own body or your emotional body, but secondly, it moves through to your relationship. So just be aware of taking on too much, group one. Okay, that was a very interesting way to read. So thank you so much for joining me, group one, for this immortal cycle reading. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it resonates with you. Let me know if you prefer me to go back to the normal 6-card reading that I do and just put the messages across from each other. I'm a bit curious to see yeah, if this has actually worked, if this resonates with you, group one, if you understand what it means, and if this is at all, if this spread has worked or if these cards have worked. So, yeah, just drop me a comment there and let me know. Thank you so much, group one, and I hope you have a beautiful week ahead. Okay, let's take a look at this group two. First of all, in the first position, we have the loop. This is the karmic or energetic pattern that is repeating, and how this pattern is showing up in your physical life through your habits or your relationships or your physical body. So I'm looking for the connection here between the cards. I'll let you know what the spreads mean, and then I will make the connections with the card, and then we'll take a look at your physical situation around you as well. In the second position, we have the origin. This is the root cause of how these patterns are coming up around you. It's the karmic or energetic pattern that is repeating in your life. It could be your relationships, which I feel it is relationships because that's what's on the table. So this is indicating the karmic or energetic pattern where the loop, so where it comes from. Now we're taking a look at the loop or the energetic pattern that keeps repeating for you to acknowledge, and here we're looking at the origin, so where it manifests in your life. Here we're looking at relationships. We've got the card of the twin flames, the Voyager, together and embodying the path of sacred union. So this could be energy of relationships, indicating that you'll find your karmic loops in your relationships, repeating the same patterns, going into the same arguments or the same types of people that you end up being with. Or it could be that a situation, even if you're not with somebody, it could be that this is part of your karmic loop, that the pattern of relationships ending, it's something indicating around relationships. It's where the karmic pattern originates from. In the third position, we have the mirror. This is what the cycle reflects about your soul's growth, what it reflects in your current physical experience. Here we have the grid weaver. It's about alignment. This is a card of, let me just pull this up so I can read this card. It says, restructuring to align to your highest good. So being in your highest timeline, or turning the tables around so that they fall into the best possible outcome for you, your highest good. Aligning to the, okay, now as a mirror sitting next to relationships, it's you aligning yourself to your relationships. Now, this could be that you mirror the people that you're around or the people that you're with, and this is part of your karmic loop. You tend to do that. Maybe you're a bit of a chameleon. Maybe you just tend to be really flexible, and you are very flowy, and you can kind of just like what other people like. But here I'm feeling that a part of this energy here is being in alignment with your partners or your relationships as part of this loop that's repeating. Now, for some of you, that could mean that it's part of what you need to do is to align your relationships a little bit better to help break the loop and the cycle here. Or and I'm feeling, because we've got the control card coming up, I feel for some of you it's pulling the energy through of, you give a little bit of yourself away, give a little bit of your control away to your relationships when you like the things that they like, or do the things that only they want to do. So it's about, you let a little piece of yourself go. So you surrender parts that about yourself that makes up who you really are in order to maintain a strong relationship. So you give away a little bit of your control, because we do surrender control down the bottom there. So that's showing that this is definitely one of your loops, soul loops, that, or repeating patterns that go up around you. Now, this could be in relationships, it could be in your day-to-day life, your job. It could be that you surrender the control to a boss, you surrender control to co-workers, they push you around, you're a yes person, and there's, every time you give a part of yourself away or surrender to the way somebody else wants something done, you're just letting that little part of yourself go a little bit here. So now let's keep moving on, and I'll keep going through the spread, and then I'll piece them all together. As I said, it's a new spread, so I'm just getting my head around this one. Now we've got the lesson card coming up down the bottom. Now you've got a tough lesson group too. You've got the confusion card that you've picked, the puzzle maker. So maybe it feels harder than it has to be. Maybe once you get self-control. Now, group 1 I felt was more about really controlling energy. They felt to be more of the control freaks, the people that like things done a certain way. Group 2, your energy feels to be more of somebody that flowy, that gives their energy away, so gives their power away. They're happy for others to take the lead or others to take control. But they surrender their control. But here for you, as part of your lesson, something that you need to, your soul's lesson that is trying to emerge, which you'll find in physical challenges that come up around you, could be your need to take your power back, get self-control, assert dominance. Be brave and stand up for yourself here. It's about getting your control back, taking your power back here. So where we're sitting in diagonal to surrendering control, I feel part of your lesson here in this life is about standing up for yourself, taking the lead, taking control of your own actions, your own destiny, not just aligning to what everybody around you wants you to do or be. So it's about really stepping into your own energy here and saying, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I want to do, and really just stepping into that energy, because this is your lesson. This is the soul's lesson that's trying to emerge for you, to show you what's been going on in your physical reality. In the 5th position, we have the shift. What's ready to evolve spiritually and what's ready to change physically. What's ready to change here is for you to finally open your eyes and see what's really going on around you, to pay attention to the repeating patterns, pay attention to the loops that have been playing out in every area of your life. Now, for you, I feel this energy is about your own strength and personal power, how you give your power away, you surrender your control to others. So this is about you. The shift that's happening now is you starting to take notice of the little things that's going on around you. They may be really small things, little tiny things, letting somebody else choose the program that you're watching, letting somebody else at work dictate what time certain things get done, or, how they get done, even though you feel like they could be done in a better way. Maybe you don't even feel that. Maybe you just are so flowy that you just will do what needs to be done without even having to think about a better way to do it. So here it's going to be a little bit confusing for you to get your mind around this, because we have the clarity sitting next to the confusion. So while your eyes are starting to open to maybe all the situations and scenarios in your life that you give your power away to, you surrender control, maybe you're starting to see these little things, and they're only going to be small. They're going to be small, subtle things, but you're going to see them in all areas where you've given your control away. Now, it doesn't have to be because, okay, I want to do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way for you. It's more like you just go with the flow and do it the way other people want it, and you don't even stop to consider what your idea might be or what you prefer to do. It's like you don't even get to that point. It's just like you just surrender and know that you're a worker bee, or you're just keeping the peace, you're a people pleaser. All these different scenarios that it could be, because it's different, it's a group reading. It's showing that your biggest shift here is going to be you finally opening your eyes and paying attention to your dynamics in your relationships, all relationships, not just partners, all relationships. The dynamics that you play, in which situations and scenarios can you truly take your power back and be in control, if any, because I feel there may not be any. There may not be a situation unless you're on your own. And maybe when you're on your own, do you get lost in what to do now? What do I do now? Because that's where I feel the confusion energy comes in. It's like, yes, your eyes are going to open and you're going to see the dynamics of the relationships around you, but where do you go from there? What next? What do you do next? How do you live out every day and make all the decisions that need to be made if you're not listening to anybody else? Or and it's not that you're not listening and making a stand, it's that you're learning to look within and say, okay, how do I feel about this? What would I rather be doing? How do I think is the best way for this to go, or the best way that this could be done. So it may be a little bit confusing for you. It may feel like putting together a piece that doesn't seem to fit as good as what it used to, and that's because everybody else made the decisions for you before, when now you've got to learn to take some of your power back. You don't have to. You have free will. But what's coming up in your karmic spread, your karmic loop here, is that your soul loop is you surrender control to others. So on what level you do that will be different for everybody. Some it's going to be the extreme that I said, you let everybody else make the decisions for you. For others, it's just about you could be a bit of a people pleaser and just you want to keep the peace. So you just do things because it's just going to be easier to do it that way. But I do feel you're going to start to open your eyes and start to look within and think, how would I like to do this? What would I like to do today? But I do feel that at a point sometimes you'll find puzzle pieces don't fit together as well, because you're having to make all those decisions yourself. So it's going to be a struggle at first to learn, because this is a karmic loop. This is a pattern you're needing to break. So it's going to be difficult and confusing at first for you to learn to make decisions for yourself, or learn to just tap in your own body and say, what do I want? What do I think is going to be the best outcome? Even if it's wrong, it's a decision that you've made. So if you don't think, oh, I don't want to make the wrong decision, here the energy that I'm feeling is that don't be fearful of making the wrong decision. You can't make a wrong decision. If you finally embrace your own personal power and control here, and you make a decision, you make a choice, then whatever choice you made is the right choice, because the fact that you've stood up to break this control system, or to break this pattern of giving your power away, is a step in the right direction for you, whatever choice that was, right or wrong. So here I feel the energy of the loop that you're needing to break is that position of surrendering your control to others, for whatever reason you do that. Continuing to move around, we had the new rhythm. This is the soul's frequency or archetype. It's a new physical alignment or manifestation. We've got broken vows, betrayal, promises broken, too broken to fix. Okay, so the energy out of this feels to be, it's a shock to everybody around you. If you start standing up for yourself, if you start telling people how you feel, if you start saying no when people keep piling on with all the duties to you, or, I'll just get her to do it or him to do it because they will say yes, or, they just get in and do it. Once you start saying no, it's going to confuse other people. They'll feel betrayed. Once you start speaking up for yourself, or standing up in your own power, not surrendering your control to everybody else, they're going to feel a bit betrayed by that, because you've been so easygoing. You've just let them get away with whatever they want to do. They've made all the decisions. Now, it may not be a bad thing that they've been the person that makes the decisions, but it's going to be a shock when you start wanting to make those decisions for yourself. But it is part of your karmic loop here. It's part of your soul loop, is learning to take your power back and stand in control here. But people around you may feel a little betrayed. They may feel a little confused by you finally standing in your own power. So I'm going to pull in one more card here. It's a final card to anchor the integration. And then I'm going to have a look at the cards in alignment on a physical level. Okay, so decoding. We've got the card of decoding in the middle. This is the code translator, deciphering signs and information, sitting next to the card of confusion. This card feels like it is part of your learning here. It's how you're going to integrate this. Okay, so how you integrate this energy that's coming in, and the integration of breaking this soul loop is learning to stand up for yourself, taking your power back. But part of that is going to be learning to see the signs, learning to open your eyes and have clarity on what parts you could present opportunities for you to stand up and take your power back, and really learning to decode. It's all about connections and choices and decisions, and actually having to find that you're doing a little more for yourself, because you're stepping into a role of taking personal power back, and having to decode then how those decisions lead, or how they affect the other people around you, because we've got the relationship card here. I do feel like there's going to be a little bit of a time of confusion, as I said, as you learn to navigate and decode the situations, learn to read the rooms, learn to read people's emotions here, because having to stand up for yourself finally, or being in the position of taking your power back, there's also an element of looking and understanding how that affects the people around you as well. In another way, you could be looking at this as learning to decode the signs and information that's coming to you from spirit. Spirit will give you little stepping stones, little pointed directions on which way to go, or giving you little signs to say which area of your life you need to focus on first, which areas of your life you need to take your power back in. Is this in your physical realm, your health? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your family? Is it in your workplace? Is it in the roles that you do in life? Is it in the fact that you tend to take on a lot of the responsibility of situations, or being that you just say yes and just go with it? But here it's about we're learning to see the signs from spirit to say which direction, because obviously you're not going to change every single situation in your life. You're looking, opening your eyes to subtle signs and looking at subtle ways you can learn to take your power back that don't affect other people too much, because this is why we have the translator, and the betrayal may affect relationships around you if it's too much of a big change that you're trying to make. Subtlety is the key here for you. So taking a look at the cards here on a physical level, what's going on for you, we have the surrender card sitting in top in opposition to the control card, indicating that part of, as I said, the whole theme of this loop or this reading has been your surrendering control. We have the Together card, Twin Flame card, sitting in opposition to the Clarity. So opening your eyes in relationships, seeing what's really going on around you. Now we also have the Betrayal card sitting across from Alignment. So now alignment sitting across from Betrayal. This alignment card is about restructuring. We have a broken split earth here. It's a broken, fractured relationships or a fractured situation. We've got the relationship card sitting across from Clarity, opening your eyes to what's going on in relationships or the power dynamics within relationships. 8th house energy definitely for you that I'm feeling here. Now, this Betrayal card sitting across from Alignment. So it's really about restructuring yourself, looking for ways that you can realign your energy and take power back without breaking relationships, breaking contracts, breaking situations that are beyond repair. So subtle, as I said, subtlety is the key here for sure. And confusion, it's going to be a period. Now you may have already been feeling that confusion, for you to just gravitate towards that card as your choice. But I feel like if you're wanting to break this pattern of feeling like you've got no power, you've got no control, then part of that is about standing up and learning in which areas you can take your power back in subtle ways, because you don't want to break situations by being too dominant or completely changing your personality. So it's subtle ways that you can take this power back. But I do feel it's going to be a little bit confusion for you, even more so than now, as you learn to navigate this new role that you're stepping into by standing up for yourself, or learning small ways that you can take your power back. Feel like you can still get things done, get along with people that you're getting, that that's in your life, not making drastic changes, but how can you do things and make decisions so you can feel within yourself that you're not quite so powerless, that you're in control of your own destiny. That's what's really important here with your soul loop. So thank you so much for joining me, group 2. Let me know what you think about this new spread. Let me know if it makes sense to you at all. This group that you have picked, group 2, does this resonate with you at all, and how does that resonate with you? So a little bit of feedback would be great. I love your comments, love your like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you again next week. Hey, welcome back, group 3. Let's take a look at the connections here. Now I'm going to run through what the spread placements are, and then I'm going to make the connections, and let's figure out what your soul loop is. What pattern do you keep repeating over and over again, and how can we help you step out and break that loop? So here we have one is the loop. It's called the card of insight. It's the seer of echoes, the loop. So here it's about insight, intuitive attunement. So here your loop here is a karmic or energetic pattern that is repeating. How is this pattern showing up in your physical life, in your habits, your relationship, or your body? Now, seer of echoes is somebody that it's about having visions. It's intuitive visions, of course. This loop could be playing out in your spiritual life, in your intuition here. There could be something going on with your spiritual growth here, your intuition. This could be where your loop is playing out in your spiritual angle. If not, I would say the seer of echoes is somebody who has past relevance. So echoes means past. It means something that plays out from the past here, and having insight. So visions, reliving memories, dreams from your past, whether that's past life, childhood, or just your past in general. So let's move along this spread and see what else is here, and then I'll make the connections. In the position 2, we have the origin. This is a root of the cycle. So it's the past life, ancestral or emotional. It's the physical trigger on or environment that activates this loop, this pattern. We have the potential here. This is seeing what is possible, potential. Now, it's all for here, it's about feeling potential. Where does your potential lie? Are you living up to your full potential? Where does it come from? Where does this loop come from? It comes from your potential. The power that you hold. Maybe you know that you've got untapped power within you. How do you bring this out to be able to use this? How do you balance this in your life? Now, then we have the mirror. This is the cycle reflects about your soul's growth. What does the cycle reflect about your soul's growth here? What does it reflect about your current physical experiences and your repeating patterns? We've got the card of release. It's final thread, releasing. Now, let me show you what this card means. If I pull it up so I can actually read it, it says some things end to set you free. We have the release card in the position of the mirror, the position of physical triggers or activating this energy. In the lesson position, we have the card of duality. It's caught between two worlds, the balance breaker. So having to have balance in your life, having to make decisions as well, and balance between two separate areas in your life. This is the lesson. So your soul's lesson trying to emerge, the physical challenges or the insights that mirror the lesson. This is your physical challenges here. It's being able to be in two realms or be in okay, for some of you I feel this is the energy of being in a spiritual closet where you don't show that part of yourself to people around you. Maybe you have a job that requires you to be intelligent, or I'm not saying that spiritual people are not intelligent, because that is definitely not true, but what I'm saying is that maybe you hide certain parts of yourself because you don't want those parts of yourself seen. There's showing two worlds. You're different on the inside than you are on the outside, and maybe that's because of the position, the role, the people that you're around. Maybe you don't like to show that part of yourself, but this is the lesson for you. It's the soul lesson trying to emerge. It's your physical challenge that you face, that you're needing to break this cycle here. Having to hide parts of yourself to keep other people happy, hiding parts of yourself to fit in with other people. It's living duality. So living one way when you really feel on the inside it's different than how it's being portrayed on the outside, and you needing to break this cycle. This is the lesson that's trying to emerge for you. Now, in the position of the shift, what's shifting for you? We've got the spark finder, the rekindle card, your energy returning back to you, creativity energy coming back, relationships firing up. It's energy of spark and inspiration coming back to you. Now, this is in the position of the shift, what's ready to evolve spiritually. You're ready for this spark of intuition, this spark of knowing who you are, this spark of working with your gifts, your magic. It's magic energy. It's definitely what I'm feeling from this card. It's in a place of, okay, I'm ready to work my magic. Show me my magic, and having that energy in your fingertips. Now, that could be coming through creative pursuits, because whenever my fingers tingle like that, it's when my creative energy comes in. It's through my fingertips, and I'm feeling it in my fingertips for you, group 3. So this is showing that there's a new burst of inspirational energy about to hit you. It could be in your working your magic, your intuition. So getting in there and, okay, what can I learn? What can I do? What new modality can I engage in? It's like this whole new spark of passion that's coming in for you. Now we've got the new rhythm, the soul frequency. This is a new physical alignment or manifestation. We've got the reoccurrence. This is the immortal cycler. It's the repeating patterns loop until you deal with them, I guess. That's the meaning of this card. It's the card that's named after the deck itself. The book. This is based on a book, The Immortal Cycle, The King's Tide, by Kane Dodd. So this is the deck that accompanies that book. Now this is the card that is all about the energy of this deck. So it says the immortal cycle, repeating patterns. Now whether that is reincarnation itself, coming back over and over to feel like you can do something better or do something different, or whether that's something in your life that keeps reoccurring pattern. And this, after all, is the spread that we're talking about. What are the repeating patterns in your life? What things do you really finally need to deal with in this particular lifetime? And why I say it's in this lifetime is because we've got this immortal cycle card bringing in that element of reincarnation. So this time you need to get it right. You need to do it right this time. So let me try and help you find what that is. And it will be different slightly for everybody, but let's try and see where the energy of this is before I bring in the final card over here. So first of all, we've got the loop. So the loop itself is the insight. So it's the intuition. So it's your intuitive. It's definitely a feel. And this being your magic card, it feels to be your intuition. It's your spiritual body. So here I feel the loop for you is not embracing who you are, your superpower, your magic self, your intuition coming out of that spiritual closet. Now, for you, I feel like you've got these amazing abilities that you're too scared to evolve them. You're too scared to maybe step or show other people even. It may not be a fear of the gift itself. It may be a fear of showing other people that you're a little bit different, that you're not like them, that you and by saying that, you're not the only one. There's, all of us are like that. We all feel that we're different in some way, and that's what makes us all unique. But for you, I feel like you are living a complete dualistic lifestyle. So because of the life that you have, your relationships around you, the job that you have, it's like you have to look a certain way or act a certain way or fit in a certain way. But on the inside, you're very, very magic and spiritual and love all of this stuff. And you want to get your hands in there. You want to get that spark of creativity in your fingers. You want to manifest. You want to create. You want to play with the magic. You want to look at what modalities invigorate you and inspire you. It's really quite one's energy that I'm feeling around you, group 3. I feel like it's a powerful burst of energy that you contain. You keep it down. You don't release it. And I feel like if you just the immense power that comes out of you, if you just sit down and say, okay, this is me. I'm going to get really involved in this. I'm going to do a new course, or I'm going to learn a new modality. It's like you really will grow really fast and really quickly. But part of your pattern here, so you keep it under wraps. But there's a bit of releasing that's going on, I'm drawn to, as I look at the cards on the screen here. There's a bit of releasing that needs to take place here. But part of this recurring pattern, or this, maybe you did it openly. You practice witchcraft in a past life and you got burned at the stake for it. So now you want to keep it under wraps. But by doing that, you're pushing down this beautiful spark of energy, this power. I can feel it. I tapped right into it. It's really powerful energy. It's manifesting energy. It's creative energy. It's the kind of energy that everything you touch turns to gold, or everything that you do, you're going to be very good at it. So whatever modality you decide to learn, you're going to be very good at it, because I feel you've got this really wealth of energy or spark within you, but it's contained. You don't let it out. You don't light that fire. So it's a matter of choosing which modality you want to get involved in and turn up the heat, light that fire, let that sparks fly, because coming back in from a past life into this life where you have to dim your light or dim your spiritual fire, it's like that's going to have repercussions on your next life. You're going to have to come back and do it again because you've gone in the extreme, where maybe in the last life you were full practicing witch, burnt at the stake. In this life, you're completely just not using it, scared to show other people that you have that gift, or scared to show your true power, tap into the energy, try something new because you may be scared of what it will do. You've got this deep fear that's buried deep down. You don't know where it comes from, but I think it comes from a past life. It comes from a past life repercussions of something that happened to you in a past life now makes you feel like, oh, I have to be careful with this. I have to keep it secret. But by doing that, you're containing it. So this is your loop. This is your challenge. Now, this could be also you've intuitive selected challenges for yourself. Maybe you feel a bit challenged. Maybe you feel you've hit a roadblock in your spiritual journey. Maybe you've been in this path and you're reading cards, you're doing psychic work, but you feel like you're flat or you've reached a challenging point. You just can't push further than you're feeling like you want to go further, you want to do more, but you're meeting some challenges, whether that is trying to find the time to sit down and do it, whether it's you've got the people around you that and the job that you do, or the people that you have to that don't agree with it, don't want to see it, whatever it is, there's a challenge going on that's allowing you to be who you really are, truly and authentically unleashing that beast from within. And what I mean by that is that fire, that energy, that you don't have the dragon, you've got the angel, but I'm feeling that energy, that spark from within. You need to release it. You're pushing it down, but what you're really doing is when you pass from this life and go quick, so we've got the repeating cycle, reincarnation, you're going to say, okay, I pushed it down too far. I didn't balance properly. I should have allowed part of that to be in my life. So it's all about balance. It's not about being too far on the extreme of that practicing witchcraft and standing up and, being weird. And it's not about being on that extreme of it. It's not about being on the opposite stream of being in the spiritual closet and not letting everybody know what you're into. It's about finding balance. How do you get to keep the relationships that you have, keep the job that you have, whatever it is that is different than what you are on the inside, and able to somehow just have expression of your intuitive insight? How do you then now, what I'm picking up out of this is, the people on the street, the psychics on the street that go up to other people and say, I have a message for you. There's something coming up in your reading about that. So maybe that energy there that's coming in from that message about, going up to people on the street, maybe that seems too extreme for you and it's saying you don't need to go to that extreme. Maybe that's pushing you right out into the limelight, saying, this is who I am. And if you're happy to do that, then do that. But I've got this energy around you that's having some duality, balancing your physical with your spiritual. So it's not about being too far on one end or too far on the other end, meaning too far physical and not engaging in any of your spiritual passions or gifts or inspiration, or being too far out there in, the kind of person that just walks up to somebody in a street and says, I've got this message for you. So that's maybe I feel could be on one end. You have to find the balance in the middle and find that duality in both areas. That's the challenge that you need to face. Now, your final card here is the card of grounding. It's the root planter. So this is the final card to anchor the integration of this energy. So for you, it's just about finding your feet. It's about finding your purpose. And I feel that comes from learning a new modality. It's about engaging in something new. I feel you're going to be good at anything that you learn, anything that you do, but it's about finding that grounding in a way that, where I'm saying the duality, one extreme to another, and about finding, let me try and pull the words out here that was coming through without losing this one, that duality of being really out there versus being just somebody that's very grounded, can bring it up in a conversation in a very natural, grounded kind of way. So really just grounding your energy, not being too airy-fairy, not being too out there in the clouds, head in the clouds kind of energy. It's really important for you in your energy to be, and especially since I feel it has a past life connection, I feel it's important for you to be very physically grounded in this life. So you are very much part of this energy of this physical side over here, but having to find balance and duality with the spiritual side. So that's like finding this balance in a very grounded way. So you don't want to be too ungrounded into and untethered into this spiritual energy of being really out there. You just need to do it in a really subtle, grounded way, but you also don't want to be so grounded that you push down this beautiful spark of creative energy that's there, because I feel this is where your real power is. And your loop, your karmic loop that's coming up for you, is that you need to get it right in a way that's balanced and balances both the physical or the spiritual. So not too far on one side that you're putting yourself out to be burned at the stake, metaphorically, of course, or too far pushed down that you're just hiding such a beautiful and important part of yourself, a part that you'll just really feel. I felt the energy of it when I tapped in. It's so inspirational and just really heightened energy. It's really beautiful energy. So you're missing out on that by not engaging with that either. But be grounded. That's really important. Group 3, I hope that this resonated with you. I hope that you understood it. This is a new spread. Please let me know what you think about the new spread, and how you think it goes with this new Immortal Cycle deck, which will be available soon. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next week.